first day I ever thought he might just love me more than anything, more than his own skin. But now, 3 months from my 18th birthday, when I look at my quivering fingerprint on the edge of his jaw, I feel naked. Known. If Marcus ended up bloodied in the street, it wouldn't take much to identify him by the traces of me on his body. I reached for the doorknob, mumbling, "I got it," as if Marcus was ever actually going to put feet to floor this early. On the other side of the wall, Dee's laughter seeps into my gums like salt water, absorbed right into the fleshy part of my mouth. I shake my head and turn back to the door, to my own slip of paper taped to the orange paint. You don't have to read one of these papers to know what they say. Everyone been getting them, tossing them into the road as if they can, themselves out of the harshness of it. The font is unrelenting, numbers frozen on the flyer, lingering in the scent of industrial printer ink, where it was inevitably pulled from a pile of papers just as toxic and slanted as this one, and placed on the door of the studio apartment that's been in my family for decades. We all know Vernon was a sellout. Wasn't going to keep this place any longer than he had to, when the pockets are roaming around Oakland, looking for the next lot of us to scrape out from the city's insides. The number itself wouldn't seem so daunting if Dee wasn't cracking herself up over it, curling into a whole fit, cementing each zero into the pit of my belly. I whipped my head toward her, shot over the wind and the morning trucks. "Quit laughing or go back inside, Dee, shit." She turns her head an inch or two to stare at me and smiles wide, opens her mouth until it's a complete oval, and continues her cackle. I rip the rent increase notice from the door and return to our apartment, where Marcus is serene and snoring on the couch. He's lying there, sleeping, while this whole apartment collapses around me. We're barely getting by as is, a couple months behind in rent, and Marcus has no money coming in. I'm begging for shifts at the liquor store and counting the number of crackers left in the cupboard. We don't even own wallets. And looking at him, at the haze of his face, I know we won't make it out of this one like we did the last time our world fractured, with an empty photo frame where Mama used to be. I shake my head at his figure, long and taking over the room, then place the rent increase notice in the center of his chest so it breathes with him. Up and down. I don't hear Dee no more, so I pull on my jacket and slip outside, leaving Marcus to eventually wake to a crumbled paper and more worries than he'll try to handle. I walk along the railing, lined in apartments, and open Dee's door. She's there, somehow asleep and twitching on the mattress, when just a few minutes ago she was roaring. Her son, Trevor, sits on a stool in the small kitchen, eating off-brand Cheerios out of their box. He's 9, and I've known him since he was born. Watched him shoot up into the lanky boy he is now. He's munching on the cereal and waiting for his mother to wake up, even though it'll probably be hours before her eyes open and see him as more than a blur. I step inside, quietly walking up to him, grabbing his backpack from the floor and handing it to him. He smiles at me, the gaps in his teeth filled in with soggy Cheerio bits. "Boy, you gotta be getting to school. Don't worry about your mama, come on. I'll take you." Trevor and I emerge from the apartment, his hand in mine. His palms feel like butter, smooth and ready to melt in the heat of my hand. We walk together toward the metal stairwell, painted lime green and chipped, all the way down to the ground floor, past the ship pool, and through the metal gate that spits us right out onto High Street. High Street is an illusion of cigarette butts and liquor stores, a winding trail to and from drugstores, and adult playgrounds masquerading as street corners. It has a childlike kind of flair, like the perfect landscape for a scavenger hunt. Nobody ever knows when the hood switches.